How's it going, everybody? It's Clayton with Elevated Expeditions. I'm out here doing a little fishing. I brought a surf perch rod and a pole for striper, but I wasn't having any luck. I'm catching a whole bunch of kelp and snagging a whole bunch, but I was walking around at low tide and I found some black turban snails. Surf looks really good. I'm gonna try this spot. It looks like I've got enough of a casting distance in between these rocks right here. This color looks pretty dangerous. Oh, that was a bad cast. I don't know if I'm getting that one back. I can't tell if that's rock and kelp or just kelp. I think it's rocks though, so I'm trying to stay not on top of them, but oh, that kind of felt like a bite. Just the sand there. That was kelp. Okay. We're checking things out. We're getting it figured out. It's just, I'm gonna try and cast over the top of it. What are you? Decent. I thought the walk was going to be a lot harder. I would have just come down here in shorts and no shoes. It would have been a much better move. This water's nice. Good temperature. See a big trough right here in front of me. It is about an hour before low tide. I think low tide was a negative 0.2. So not super low, but it is the higher of the two low tides. So this morning and then tomorrow morning are gonna both be extreme low tide mornings with the new moon and all. But about an hour before low tide, I'm gonna try and fish till about an hour after. Give it a good 2 hours. We'll see how she goes. Hopefully have something to show for it. Got a bunch of baits I showed you while I was up at the car getting packed up. I don't know how many I'm going to change. I definitely want to try when I get away from the rocks. I didn't show you it, but I've got a jerk bait, so I want to give that some tries. Those are always good for the surf. Although I'm extremely incompetent and inconfident with throwing lures at the ocean. I've only caught perch so far doing it, but we're hoping to change that today. Absolutely beautiful out here. Oh, that didn't sound good. What happened there? Oh, my bail came down. Whoopsies. It would have been a good cast. Before I move on to the open water, I just want to try the perch rig right here real quick. Give that a shot, get that wheeled up. Get switched out here. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, all right. We're almost there. That's it. Quick change. Much better. This is a rad spot. Let me go see if it's a little less kelpy over there on that point. The kelp is killing me. I would poke hole these spots if I had some bait. Getting a little blown over. I'm gonna watch it for a second. Oh, that is like spooky deep. sea snails. Check those little bad boys out. Alright, I'm back in the studio now, working on this video. And I made a huge mistake here. So I stopped to check all the regulations and legal take requirements for black turban sea snails. But the major thing that I overlooked, because I wasn't going out for crustaceans, essentially, I didn't think to check the hotline for domatic acid. And there is some super silly that I knew better than to go out and harvest without calling the number for it first. A certain time of year where you can't eat bivalve shellfish because they're eating algae that contains domatic acid. This can lead to amnesic shellfish poisoning, which I thought I gave myself a minor case of because I went out and drank excessively after making this video. I woke up with a hangover. For amnesic shellfish poisoning and a hangover at the lower level are almost the same. Nausea, headache, that sort of thing. So I was super concerned and almost went to the hospital. I ended up feeling better and just coming out of it, and I realized at that point that I was just hungover. But this is the kind of thing that people get seriously injured and can die doing. You have to check your bases before you go out and harvest fish. It's not just on a legal level, but knowing when the proper season to take is. I found quite a few of them. They're pretty good size. I'm going to collect up about 10 of these that are over an inch in diameter. There's no size limit, but there is a limit on amount. You can only keep 35 in California. I just had to double check all the regulations. So I'm going to go through and harvest. I don't want to take any that are too small, so I'm going to use this guy as like a size marker and try to only collect the ones that are about this big or bigger. Hopefully I find some bigger ones. But there's a whole bunch of them. There's 2, 3, oh, that's a sea anemone. I thought it was a rock. Ah, there's a good one. 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. That one's got a little barnacle on him. Ah. 9, 10, 11. That one's kind of small. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a good size one. 11, 12, 13. I'm going to try and find a couple of good size ones. So that's 14. I was finding bigger ones over here. Let's go back over here. Look for a couple more big guys. I'm really excited for this. I'm gonna have to look up a recipe and everything, but that's all right. I'm excited to try them with you. $15. Do one more for good luck. go. All right, that's 16. We're gonna call it there. That's 16 that I collected. I'm gonna head to the grocery store and I'll meet back with you guys when I'm at the house cooking them up. We're gonna do a little catch and cook on these and test them, taste test to see how they are. What's going on, everybody? Made it back to the kitchen and I'm gonna whip up these snails. I've had them soaking in water. Give you a little shot here. Had these guys soak it in water for about 10 minutes, purging all the sand and everything out of them. There's a couple of them that have got a little bit of kelp on them, so I'm going to go through and try and clean those off, give them a little scrubbing, get any of the debris off the outside. Got those all cleaned up, give them a good scraping with a little spoon. Got all the algae and everything cleaned off the outside, not algae, but seaweed and other things clean off the outside of them. Not a very little individual. I'm going to add in the snails to the rolling boiling water, heavily salted. I'm going to let that go for 10 minutes. Now we're going to prepare the vegetables. For that we're going to be doing red onion and cucumber, equal parts. Add those into a bowl. Kind of a small bowl, I don't have a bigger one. Yeah, scrap the bowl. We're gonna make the mixture. We're gonna start with garlic chili crunch oil. Give this a good mix. And here I mixed up sesame oil, toasted sesame oil, lemon juice, and sugar. It's raw sugar. I would have used brown sugar, but I didn't have any. I had raw sugar. That should work just fine. Add this mixture. Toss this to combine it. All right, give this a shot. Timer for the snail. Back to this guy. So just tried the vegetables. Really good flavor. Kind of spicy from the red onion. Nice and cool from the cucumber. It's got the spice from the crunchy chili powder, chili oil. Alright, I'm getting these snail paints figured out. This is incredibly tedious, but I'm using a needle and just kind of sticking it in there, getting a hold of it, and sort of twist. Alright, I'm getting these snails figured out here. I'm using a sewing needle and just sort of sticking it in, grabbing the meat and then twisting as I pull it out. Some of them are coming out better than others. Got that one out almost in one piece. And then they've got like a little trapdoor thing that they use to close themselves in with. You want to discard that piece. There you go, there's an old one. A whole one. Little curly Q guy, how cool. Snails. Sorry, Gary. Alright, there's our snails all cleaned up. I'm going to give these a chop. Make sure I didn't miss any of the little ends. I did. Let's give one of these a try, just straight up. Oh, you know, that's not bad. Sort of tastes like a mussel. It's sort of the consistency of like a chewy chicken. Not bad. I like it. Sure, it's gonna be real good when we're finished up here on this meal. Alright, we got our plate here. Had this cooling in the fridge. They just made up some rice noodles to go along with it. This is my take on sort of a Korean dish that's snails with noodles. I'll, throw the name up. I'm not even going to try and attempt it. But I'm going to add the snails here to our salad. I'm going to get this all mixed up. And we're going to give it a try. I'm going to add just a little bit more lemon juice to these snails. Toss that all together. Okay, there's our salad. Now, we're going to garnish with a little bit of rice seasoning. And that's sesame seeds. Seaweed, mostly. And then some more of the toasted olive oil, or toasted sesame oil on top. Alright, there you have it. Let's give this a try. It's really good. I wish I would have went with a few less of the red onions, or maybe blanched the red onions. They're just a little bit overpowering. But the textures are all pretty nice together. The snails are, chewy, and then the crisp vegetables. Try it with some of our noodles. That is a really nice summertime meal. Nice and cool while it's hot out. In Korea, again, I don't know the word for it, but it's a meal to be had with beer. So I'm going to sit down and enjoy this. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed.